Welcome back yet again to the Guided Dreams YouTube platform, your DIY education, migration, lifestyle hub right here in Ontario, Canada. My name is Dr. CT Onyema from the Guided Dreams. I'm pretty much excited this Monday because we received 100% clarity about the issues affecting international students dreaming of coming to this wonderful country, Canada, to study. Following the recent announcement made by Mark Miller, the immigration minister, a lot of students were left in doubt about the way forward. Okay, so today, Monday, the 5th of January, we received clarity, exceptional clarity on 4 key issues, which is what I'm going to be sharing with you guys on this video. Now, the first thing is clarity about what you call the CAP and the provincial attestation letter, commonly called the PAL these days. Okay, now what is this clarity that we received? Now we received the clarity that concerns those in the post-secondary level and those in the undergraduate level, being that as of 8:30 a.m. of the January 22nd, 2024, most new post-secondary students and those in undergraduate level, they must provide the letter of attestation from a province or a territory before they can submit a successful study permit application. Now, if you submit your application without this PAL, IRCC will definitely return your application. And that is why in my last video, I was virtually pleading with you guys to hold on submitting that application if, for example, you do not have that PAL already. I said, do not submit because you risk your application being returned. Now we received that confirmation that if you submit an application without a PAL, that is the provincial attestation letter, IRCC would definitely return that submission. Now, remember that the provinces we are giving up to the March the 31st, to figure out ways that they will issue out these PAL to international students. Now, if, for example, you have your offer letter to study or letter of acceptance, depending on what they call it in your institution, and you wish to submit your application, our advice, first of all, reach out to your institution and ask them, how do I go about this PAL that I'm affected by these changes and I need my PAL? How do I receive it? Now, they are in the best position to tell you how to go about it. If peradventure they are not, eligible anymore, definitely they will tell you, and they are supposed to return any fee you must have paid. So reach out to them via email. Definitely they are good at responding to your email, and definitely they will respond to you. Now, another clarity we received is concerning the issue of international students whose applications were received by that deadline, in quote. If IRCC received the application before 8:30 a.m. of January 22nd, 2024, you do not need to worry. You do not need to do anything regarding this CAP. You don't need any PAL anymore. If your study permit has already been approved and you intend to travel to Canada to begin your learning, you do not need to do anything. That is another clarity that we received today. Okay, so I repeat, if you submitted your application before 8:30 a.m. of January 22nd, 2024, you don't need to do anything. If also your study permit has already been approved, you don't need to do anything. Okay, because you're not affected by this recent CAP. Now, who actually needs this attestation letter? Okay, there are 3 people or 3 categories of people who need this attestation letter. One, most post-secondary study permit applicants, they need to have a PAL. Okay, now most non-degree graduate programs, talk about the certificate programs or the graduate diplomas, they need the PAL. Okay, now see my video here on the changes to studying in Canada to be able to figure out the institutions that are no longer eligible to offer this PGWP. Okay, so that you can do well to avoid them. Okay, third category is anyone else who is not included in the exemption list. You must provide the PAL. Okay, now who are those that doesn't, or who are these people that are actually on this exemption list? Now, if you're in primary or secondary school, you don't require any PAL. So if you have a child that is coming in, at the primary or secondary school level, they do not require PAL. Okay, if you are coming in to study for, say, master's or doctorate degree program, you do not also require a PAL. Okay, now if you're a visiting student or what you call an exchange student, now this is a case where you have a program that you are doing in another country and you are interested in coming to Canada to do maybe a research, 6 months, a year, or 2 years, you do not require a PAL. This is also another opportunity or avenue that you can, cut out the issue of proof of fund and actually come to Canada, study for a year or even up to 2 years. I did it during my own time. Okay, as a research student, come in, do your research for a year or two, finish your program back home. There are ways you can work out these things. All right, so I made a video. Check out this link somewhere. I'm not sure here or here, talking about the research opportunities in Canada that can help you come in, in Canada as a visiting or research student. So if that is where you belong, you do not require a provincial attestation letter or a PAL, as you call it. And also, if you are an in Canada, study permit or work permit holder, that is, if you're already in Canada, you have a study permit, you just require an extension. You do not, need a letter of attestation to have your study permit extended. Okay. Now, if you are an in Canada family member of somebody who is already, working, who has a work permit or a study permit, you do not need a letter of attestation. Take, for example, if you have maybe, let's say your mother is already here on a work permit or a study permit, you yourself, you don't need one to enroll. But remember, your institution should be PGWP eligible. Okay? All right. Now, finally, like I mentioned before, if you submitted your application before 8:30 a.m. ET of January the 22nd, 2024, you do not require a PAL. But if you are submitting or you submitted your application, let's say on the 23rd of January or after 8:30 a.m. on January 22nd, you require a PAL. Does that make sense? If it does, why not take some time, comment on this video, share, above all, click that subscribe button below. That will help us grow. Thank you very much as you do that. Now, the second point is this. Now, we also receive clarity, which is very, very interesting, on the issue about the post-graduation work permit updates, for graduates who are studying master's degree program. Remember before, if you are studying a master's degree program, maybe for 2 years, you get a 3 years PGWP. But there is no clarity about those who are studying masters of, say, 1 year or a year and a half. But today we receive clarity that starting from February 15, 2024. Those that are graduating from programs, master's degree program that are less than 2 years will also receive 3 years postgraduate work permit. This is mind-blowing. This is amazing. So if your master's is, let's say, for example, you did a 1-year master's degree program, you are given 3 years. What beats that? Maybe 1.5 years or so, 3 years. So what does that mean? This simply means that if you are smart enough, if you're in sciences, you can go look out for, master's program that they call non-thesis, okay? Because actually, if you have a thesis based master's, that's how it gets to 2 years. But if it's just like no thesis, basically a year, you're done. So some of the universities like University of Ottawa, York University, Lakeside University, even University of Toronto, lots of universities, they offer a year master's degree program. So simply do a Google search and you will be able to see, and believe you me, some of them are also even more affordable than these 2-year diploma programs we do in private colleges. So it's all about spending a little bit more time, because, for example, truth be told, if you are to journey, in Canada, or journey your way through to Canada, you must be ready to put in the work. So simply do a Google search, non-thesis based programs in Canada, and quickly enroll. Because once you finish it, you have 3 years 3 years postgraduate work permit here in Canada. Now, for other programs, it still remains the same, other than masters, those that are studying for certificate programs or for what you call the graduate diploma programs. The length of your program will also determine the length of your PGWP. That hasn't changed. It still remains the same. Remember, for you to qualify, aside other criteria you need to meet, your program should not be less than 8 months. If your program is maybe 8 months to 1 year, you are given 1 year PGWP. Above that, depending if it's 1.5 years, it's at the discretion of the officer. But if you do a 2 years program, definitely you are given 3 years work permit. Does this make sense? Amazing. Take our time to like this video, share, and above all, subscribe to this channel. Simply click the subscription button you are seeing right now on your screen. Thank you very much as you do that. I appreciate you. Now, who is eligible for longer term PGWP? In summary, 2 sets of people. Now, graduates of programs that are at least 2 years in length, you'll be given 3 years, just like I mentioned. But however, remember that that program must be from what you call the PGWP eligible institutions, okay? Please, I made a video on how to check if your program or your institution offers PGWP. Check out this video on how to do that right here. The second category of people are graduates of master's program less than 2 years in length. They are also eligible for longer PGWP approval. And when we say longer, it simply means 3 years. Okay? Now, the third clarity we received this today is about the issue between, partnership between public and private institutions. What you call the PGWP eligibility for public-private partnership college programs, which is simply a case where you have a private institution, collaborating with a public institution to operate using their own license. So that private college is approved to teach the curriculum of the public universities. Okay, so new students that are enrolling in this type of program will not be eligible anymore going further for postgraduate work permit. Now, they said this will help to discourage people from, enrolling in such programs. But however, if you want to just study and get the knowledge, go back to your home country, you can enroll, okay? But if you want to get that PGWP to make you stay back, work, gain experience, work your way through to permanent residency, these programs are no longer eligible. Check out this video to find these institutions that will no longer be eligible going forward, okay? Now, however, international students who are already enrolled in these kind of programs will remain eligible for PGWP if they, however, meet other program eligibility. Okay, if you are already enrolled in this program, you will not lose your PGWP. At the end, you will still be qualified. Okay, however, there are other criteria for PGWP which you need to meet, such as being, studying full-time and things like that, not less than 30 hours and all that stuff. Okay, now the fourth clarity we received today is concerning changes to open work permit eligibility for spouses. Although on this one, IRCC is saying that more clarity will be given, in the coming weeks, and you very sure bet that I'll bring that to you once you receive it right here on this Guided Dreams YouTube platform. So in coming weeks, the eligibility for the open work permits for spouses, common in-laws of international students will be updated. Okay, but for now, who can get this open work permit? Now, basically, if you are a spouse or a common law partner of anyone doing a master's degree or a doctorate degree, okay, or a professional degree granting programs, only then will you be eligible for what you call the open work permit, which simply enables you to work for any employer in Canada while your spouse is studying. Okay, now spouses and common law partners of international students seeking to extend their work permit will also continue to be eligible under this stream. So if you are a spouse of somebody who is already studying here, you're eligible, to extend your open work permit. Now, who will not be eligible? Now, if you're a spouse or a common law partner in other levels of study, maybe undergraduate, college programs, as mentioned before, you will no longer be eligible, for the open work permit, unless you already have an open work permit under this stream. So I believe that this brought a whole lot of clarification to, a lot of questions boggling the minds of people out there. So any other pending issues, like the issue about, eligibility for spouses to get open work permit, IRCC has promised that they will bring those clarifications in the coming weeks. And like I said, you sure bet you're going to hear it first here on the Guided Dreams YouTube channel. So that's all the clarifications, and I believe this was worth your time. So if this was worth your time, please do well, to click that subscription button, comment that. I like the comment section a whole lot better, okay? Keeps us, engaged, and make sure you share this video. That will help, YouTube algorithm, be able to rank this video and help us to get it across to as much people as possible. As usual, I will see you in yet another one. Adios.